Great to have you with us tonight here on ARC Salt Lake. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Tuesday, November 12th, and tonight we're taking a look at the court hearing that took place today regarding Kouri Richins and that murder case. Before we get to that, though, for the very first time this season, the snow really crept into some valley locations. Like I experienced in the Salt Lake Valley throughout most of the day, dropping my daughter off at school this morning. Quite the burst of snow. It was quite nice. Wet, soggy conditions for the morning commutes. A couple people out there having some issues figuring out how to drive once again when the flakes were flying. On your screen right now, live look over the Salt Lake Valley. Boy, we've got some visibility back after today. Some of that limited visibility, couldn't quite see the Wasatch because they were getting a healthy dose of it. Let's bring in meteorologist Sean Kelly here. First alert forecast, Sean. It was a welcome sight, I think, for a lot of people that were ready for that transition into what is more that winter-like weather that we experience here in Utah. I know it's not sticking on the surfaces for most or a lot of people in the valley locations, but I got some dustings on the grassy surfaces.
And a lot of it will be gone tomorrow for many areas.
Happens all the time.
This was the first official snow this season. We picked up 0.3 of an inch out at the airport, but it didn't start as snow. We had some rain before that, and that accumulated up to 1/2 an inch. So we saw some beneficial rain, some good snow across the valley floors, even better snow up into the mountains, seeing about 6 to 11 inches there. And now we just get ready for some chilly temperatures as we have cooled things down into the 30s. We're at 38 degrees here in Salt Lake City. But yes, as Brian mentioned, the visibility is much better out there, and we get ready for some chilly temperatures here. Dry conditions, but chilly conditions through the overnight. We're quiet tomorrow, actually pretty nice with sunshine returning and a nice warm up as we head into Thursday. But look at this, some changes on the horizon. We'll talk about what we could see, maybe some snow that's coming up in my first alert weather forecast.
All right, Sean, thank you. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes. Lots to keep an eye on there for the 2 News weather team here as of late. And download our 2 News weather app and always be ready when weather could hit your neighborhood or maybe your part of the state, right? Sometimes these storms will do a little split ski here and northern Utah gets the dose and southern Utah gets nothing. Other time those roles are reversed. Great app to have. It is free to download. Going in depth tonight, Kouri Richins, the Camas child book author, accused of killing her husband, back in court today. Jake Taylor was there for us and brings us up to speed tonight.
Hi, Brian. I'm Jake Taylor here in Summit County. The district court is behind me. I was here for a hearing on the Kouri Richins case, and a lot happened here today. A lot of motions that the judge had to rule on. One that started us off, which is quite interesting, changes the charges. The state itself moved to dismiss 2 drug possession and distribution charges connected to this case. There wasn't really any explanation given as to why they're doing that. Today, the judge accepted that, allowed them to drop those charges. But the state did make it clear, the prosecution said they will be in their argument before the jury saying that fentanyl was used in the death. It just won't be one of the or 2 of the specific charges in that case. Also, there are a number of motions from the defense regarding the jury. Now, one, the judge quickly agreed to, saying that the jury will be split. The jury pool will come half from Summit County, half from Salt Lake County. Also, the defense asked that during the jury selection, that the jury not be allowed to video conference in, that any potential jurors would have to be here in person. The prosecution itself also agreed with that. They asked for that. The members of the defense saying that they needed to be able to look the potential jurors in the face to be able to believe, be able to understand or trust that they would take the case seriously. The prosecution also potentially concerned that someone could try to get on the jury because of all of the media attention that it is getting. Finally, the defense, they made the argument to the judge that they want Kouri Richins out on bail, saying that she's been behind bars for 17 months, that it's been about that time since the judge initially made the decision to have her stay in jail without bail, saying that things have changed since then. The judge not agreeing with that argument, saying that she needs to stay behind bars and adding that because she no longer has her business and because of a fraught relationship with her children, he believes that there is a greater risk of her fleeing the country or fleeing the jurisdiction than there might have been in the past. Again, this is all that happened here in the court today. Jake Taylor, KUTV 2 News.
Let's go in depth on this. By the way, something Jake did not mention, there was a lot of talk about significant media coverage in this case by the judge, by both sides. Just very interesting. They recognize how much this is being covered and put out all over the world. One of those other things that Jake spoke about, jury selection. The defense adamant that jurors need to be present in the court to partake in the selection. The judge not so convinced, citing how virtual selection and hearings have gone now for the last couple of years, virtually since the COVID-19 pandemic. Take a listen.
This court is required to follow Utah law regarding the size of the jury in this case. And based upon Article 1, Section 10 of the Utah Constitution and Section 78B-1-1041B of the Utah Code, a jury in a non-capital first-degree felony aggravated murder case is comprised of 8 persons. I take the motion seriously. I look forward to seeing the law change, but until it does, I'm required to deny it. Defendant's motion to seat 12 jurors, docket 668, is respectfully denied.
We're looking at a jury pool, probably from both Summit and Salt Lake, that are going to have knowledge of the facts in this case. Everybody has knowledge of the facts of this case. Having someone on a screen where we can't see them looking at the players in person, where we can't judge what might be going through their mind. It's so much harder to judge someone on a screen when we're asking questions about can you be fair when they are not sitting in the same room as the defendant. It's a lot easier when you're at home in your living room or kitchen with who knows what's going on behind you to say, of course I can be fair, than if you're sitting right here or in chambers across from Ms. Richins.
May I push you on this a little bit? I've thought a lot about this. Look at this room right now. And with respect, this is kind of a mild version of what this case attracts. There is a television camera behind you in the jury box. I will bet you a steak dinner that this entire hearing will be replayed and analyzed on numerous YouTube channels before the end of the day. Do we honestly expect normal human beings to be forthcoming under these circumstances in person?
I think they're going to be more two things. One, yes, I think in person people are going to be more forthcoming. I don't care if there's a camera in the room. It's harder to say something that is untrue to a defendant's face. Secondly, I think in person we will be able to judge better if a person is being forthcoming. Maybe they're not going to be as forthcoming, but when you're sitting there in the room with them and you can see all of their body language, then that will be easier for the attorneys to make a judgment call on who should be on this jury and who shouldn't be on this jury. This case, I think it's absolutely essential that the attorneys in this case get to look at the jurors all at the same time, not on a screen where we only have so many at a time. It's important to see when we ask questions how another juror is reacting to the answer, how juror 22 is reacting to the answer of juror 3.
You recognize that I'm probably not going to let you do that.
Well, the court's going to be asking certain questions.
I'll ask some general questions and ask people to raise their hands in response, but my practice is to not allow questioning of entire panels to prevent or guard against the danger of one potential juror saying something that prejudices the entire panel that we can't unring.
There are still things that can be seen when people are talking and they're all in the same room. Yes, I understand that more sensitive issues may be more directly related to prejudice based on the media, won't be in front of everybody. But as you watch a panel of jurors throughout jury selection and how they are responding, their body language towards the state, towards the defendant, it is essential. And we're talking about an individual who is charged with the most serious crime an individual can be charged with.
You were just hearing from Wendy Lewis, one of the co-counsel there representing Kouri Richins. The murder trial of Kouri Richins, something we've been following closely for months, if not, over a year now. A very interesting case, has gotten a lot of attention, as they alluded to in that conversation you just heard there. Court, by the way, went on for hours today. If you'd like to get caught up on the case, you can find all of our in-depth reports on our website, KUTV.com, or that nice handy 2 News mobile app. I use it every day. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, you may have noticed today that your phone, for some of you, is useless for maybe 2 hours. Take a closer look at the outage and share which network was impacted. All right, new tonight, after a quote major event, Utahns on T-Mobile's network once again have service. Internet and phone service outage. T-Mobile and CenturyLink customers were impacted. The internet and phone service went down really across most of the state earlier today. We're told the event impacted 4 cell towers in St. George. However, T-Mobile said a facility in Salt Lake experienced a brief mechanical issue, and many Utahns lost connectivity for about 2 hours. Today's outage impacted T-Mobile and CenturyLink customers once again. Well, the outage also raised important questions about what to do in scenarios like these where we rely so heavily on everything being plugged into the internet. I've been saying this for years. Liv Kelleher is in St. George speaking with emergency response teams about how to be prepared when service drops.
T-Mobile confirmed that a mechanical issue at a facility in Salt Lake caused outages that impacted people across the state. While service has been restored, disruptions like these serve as a good reminder of the importance of alternate forms of communication in emergency situations.
If their phones aren't working, then they can't call 911.
Justin Grenier manages the police dispatch center for St. George and Washington. He says this outage highlights the need for alternatives when calling for help becomes difficult.
What we would hope is that citizens would use their other means. So a landline phone, maybe another carrier that is currently working, maybe seek out a neighbor, someone else in the neighborhood that could help them, and they could call for service that way.
St. George's 911 dispatch center remained fully operational during the outage. Grenier explains that they have safeguards in place to ensure emergency services continue, even when cell and internet networks experience issues.
We have a lot of redundancy in our systems. We've designed it to be as foolproof as we can, and we have not experienced any degradation in the services that we provide.
Grenier said he was notified by T-Mobile of the outage at around noon, but received very little information about the cause. At around 2:40, we received the following statement from T-Mobile. A facility in the Salt Lake area had a brief mechanical issue that impacted connectivity for some customers in that market. But this is now resolved and service is restored. We apologize for the inconvenience. A T-Mobile customer service representative told me that there were 4 towers down here in the St. George area. The police dispatch center told me it's hard to determine what percentage of T-Mobile customers were impacted, but there were over 1,000 reported outages here. In St. George, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.
Well, did you get this breaking news push alert on your phone today? We tried to let you know about this if you could get it with the service outage. I don't know how that worked. As soon as we got word of the serious outage, we sent this out. To get breaking news updates like this one sent to your phone, all you need to do is download the 2 News mobile app. But seriously, could you get that push alert if the service wasn't there? Good question. Looking ahead to the holiday season, leaders with the Gallivan Center, just next door to us here, say you will soon be able to break out your skates and hit the outdoor rink in downtown Salt Lake. The rink set to open Friday, November 22nd. At this year's season opener, you can expect a night filled with live music, holiday lights, even a special visit from the big man himself. These festivities begin at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll run until 7 o'clock at night. Tickets to skate will cost you about $12.
Off the skates.
I think we got to take advantage of that this year, Sean. I was here last year. I'm really disappointed in myself that I did not skate there last year.
Yeah.
It's literally right there. Like, it is so close to where we are right now.
I mean,
no excuse.
the lights out there too.
I know.
I mean,
it's a good vibe.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Speaking of good vibes, if you're into this sort of thing,
I mean,
we're getting snow.
Yeah, ski season right around the corner. I mean, this is a good start to the
Sure.
season here. As we saw some spots 6 to 11 inches. Alta, of course, the big winner there. Bryan Head saw half a foot. Tooele County as well, seeing a couple inches. So we're doing pretty good as we kick off a good amount of snow here. Olympus Cove showing some of that snow. It was absolutely beautiful. And it was a winter wonderland this morning, but it's been drastically colder from yesterday. We're into the 40s and 30s, so do not forget that winter jacket, but we're dry at least, but we're good 15 to 25 degrees colder from yesterday at this time. Look at Penguin, you're already down to 28 degrees. We're hovering just above the freezing mark in Heber at 33, 41 in Ogden, 42 in Blanding, St. George at 52 degrees. The winds have been out of the northwest today. That's been keeping us nice and chilly, 20 to 25 miles per hour, especially out towards the east. It's nice and breezy. Tomorrow, though, not nearly as windy, but we will see more of a southerly breeze that will start to warm us up here a few degrees. I think everyone's going to like the forecast for the next few days. A few flurries up in the mountains, but generally drying things out statewide. Dry air working its way in. We've got a quiet and pleasant next few days. Friday, though, we start to see some changes. Another weak storm pushing into our area. We might start to see some showers out there Friday evening, some mountain snow, and then maybe even some valley snowflakes mixing in Saturday morning. It's lacking a lot of moisture here, so I don't expect this to be a big storm, just mainly some snow showers and rain showers, and then another storm, another one that's lacking moisture, moves in from Monday night to Tuesday that also will be mainly isolated in terms of the shower activity. So get ready for a cold one tonight. A lot of refreezing, those puddles. Watch out for some black ice as everything refreezes across the area. We're all down below freezing up and down the Wasatch Front. We're into the teens and 20s up into the mountains. Even St. George are hovering just above that freezing mark. As we get into the day tomorrow, hey, not bad. We're back up into the 50s. The sun will be out. It'll be really pretty, especially down in St. George there into the 60s. We've got 60s the next few days. Heading into the weekend, a little bit cooler as well. Into next week, some cooler temperatures. But along the Wasatch Front, we go from 52 to 57 Thursday. Definitely the pick of the week here. Heading into the weekend, though, that'll be our next little bit of a weak storm, we can call it. Heading into early next week, though, we'll be watching this one. That'll be a colder one, maybe some snow there as we get into next week with some cooler temperatures. So certainly some winter-like conditions. Get a little bit warm up as we get into the next few days, but
This is the day you were inquiring about playing some golf. I just
Yeah.
want that to be known out there. Just snowed today. Sean's still
That's
got
right.
golf on the brain, and he would like to see what we can do Thursday.
and
I
you
think
have
it's a
to.
good idea.
I mean, 57
Yeah.
degrees, that's really nice.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It's probably a little chilly in the morning, but we'll have to layer up
Right.
there.
We got to get you out there on the pickleball court, too.
See,
so-
that's the big push she's been making now for at least a few months.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see if we can make that happen.
All right, let's do it.
Still ahead here on Arc Salt Lake, the Utah Jazz bringing something back that those older fans will really love. We'll share when you can get your hands on this new Mountain jersey next. New fans love it too. Sports Den. Welcome back. The Jazz at home tonight taking on the Suns. I think the Suns are up about a touchdown right now, which we'll see how that shakes out. New developments from the team, though. You could soon own a piece of Jazz history. In just 2 days, the team will release the season's City Edition jersey. Always gets a lot of fans excited.
I mean, look at that thing. Old school Jazz fans will love this. As you can see, the team is embracing its roots, not only with the purple color, but rocking the mountain look. You can get your hands on this new jersey starting Thursday at the Mavericks game. Just leaders say this jersey is the beginning of the mountain basketball brand era for the team. And happening tomorrow, the Carolina Hurricanes are making a stop in the Beehive State to face off against the Utah Hockey Club. As of right now, the club is ranked 5th in the Central Division. Players are hoping for some home rink advantage after last week's blowout loss against the Nashville Predators. The puck drops tomorrow at the Delta Center at 7 p.m.
Yeah, good stretch for the Utah Hockey Club there. Disappointing to end the road trip there against the Preds there and get blown out. So hoping for a little bit of a rebound there. They've got Archie, that team dog, back at it. Maybe Archie will bring them a little needed love there and they can take care of business. Have a great night. We are back tomorrow at 7. Take care.